What's up guys, T-Monk here, and today in this video I want to wish you guys a happy Chinese New Year. Now, unfortunately, well, I'm kind of uploading this, well, I'm kind of filming this much later than when Chinese New Year was. It's around, okay, let me look at the calendar real quick. So, it's February 22nd, and Chinese New Year was February 12th, so I'm a little late on this video, but I just want to wish you guys a wonderful Chinese New Year. Now, if you don't know what Chinese New Year is, let me tell you as much as I can. If you know, because I only know a little bit about it. So you know, just a little bit. But you know, Chinese New Year. So if you guys don't know, some of you guys might know, some of you guys might not know. But I grew up in the Bay Area, mostly like only a few minutes away from San Francisco, and you know, there's a you know, in the Chinatown area in San Francisco, people would celebrate, you know, Chinese New Year for, you know, celebrate the New Year, you know, with dragons and lions and all that good stuff. So I basically, so I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I remember the story about, you know, and you're probably wondering, like, where'd you get this lion puppet? You know, I'll explain it. So I was actually, I was at school one time, and I think I was in second grade around that time. So, yeah, I was in second grade, and, you know, they were telling us all about Chinese New Year, and you know, when you have those school assemblies and then you're just kind of bored out of your mind, you're just like, oh, this is so boring. I was like, you know, I was just kind of like, yeah, this is kind of boring, until when they start talking about, you know, like the Chinese lions and the dragons, I was like, oh, okay, this sounds pretty cool. And then they had a humongous Chinese lion costume that they brought out to do a traditional Chinese lion dance, and I was like, oh wow, this is so cool, very interesting. And then they had some drums, some Chinese drums and some cymbals as well, and then they just and it was super loud too. They're banging on the drums and the cymbals, and while the lion, you know, was the lion people in the lion costume were, you know, dancing around doing these cool tricks. And I thought that was one of my favorite school assemblies I've ever had. You know, I just found it really, really interesting. And then they did it the next year as well. They did it the next year, and I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. And then I told my parents all about it, and then they were like, you know what? Why don't we take you to Chinatown? And because, you know, I never really been there. Well, I've only been there a few times, and, you know, that's when I was like a super little kid. But then, you know, when I was 9 years old, they were like, why don't we take you to Chinatown, and you could, you know, maybe get a little lion, you know, marionette for yourself. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. So I was like, okay, because, you know, how old was I? I think I was about 9 years old around that time. No, I wasn't even 9, I was 8 years old. This was before I was 9, but, you know, when I was, you know, 8, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And so they took me to Chinatown, which was only about like maybe around a 20-minute drive from our house. And we were walking around there, all the shops were really cool. You know, just the you know, Chinese tradition of things that they do around there is very, very cool. And so we went to this one shop, and then there's a bunch of these Chinese lion puppets or marionettes all over the store. And then I'm like, oh wow, that's so cool. And then they were like, you know, you can choose one, you could choose a color, because they had many different colors. It wasn't just this color. They had like a light red, they had a blue, or they had a purple, they had a pink. And then my parents were like, okay, which one do you want to get? And then I'm like, you know what, I'll get the red one. And so we got this one, and you know, I was so excited about it after when we left the shop. We were walking around Chinatown, I was playing with that, and we also went to a park, and I brought it as well to play with, and it was just super fun, and I really, I really enjoyed it. And that was one of my favorite memories I've ever had, and that was a very long time ago. Yeah, so then I brought it home, and I really liked it, and I hung it up on my wall, and I still keep it in. Even years later, I still, even around 8 years later, I still keep it on my wall to this day, pretty much. Although I don't use it as much, but I still love it. And I remember after I got him, when I was in the car when we were going home, I named him. I said, I'll call him Little Red. So his name has been Little Red. That's his name. Yeah, he's really, really cool. And I don't really use him that much anymore because I'm older now. But I think he still brings they believe that these things, these lions and dragons, bring good luck to you, which I kind of believe they do, because they have they're very shiny, and I certainly believe that as well. And like I said, I'm not a religious person, but that does bring positive energy, no matter if you see it or not. I think it clearly does. So let me go ahead and I'll show you guys the marionette. So right here is a so you can just lift him up like this. So I've been very careful with these because they can break kind of easily. So I've been gentle with this thing, although he has been kind of gathering a little bit of dust, if you guys can see it. So he's been quite dusty because he's been hung up on my wall for so long. So he's a little dusty. I gotta clean him. That's kind of the only thing I really gotta do. So he's very, very cool. So what I like about this version of this Chinese line is these kind of strings right here. They're not strings. They're more of a different kind of material. These things that hold them up. They're very hard. With some of them, I've seen my friends usually have. My friends bought some, and the strings were very, very light. They're super light. And hold on, guys. Let me have a sip of water real quick. Yeah. So the strings were very, very light, and I'm like I don't know if this is worth to get. But this one has these really strong strings, which I really, really like. They're very, very strong, and I love them. I think they're great. But let's get into the little detail right here. So on this little tag right here, okay, now you guys can see it. Hold on, let me sit in my chair so you guys can see this. All right, so on this little tag thing, it says, I can actually read this. It says Gong Hei Vat Choi, which means Happy Chinese New Year. Or, yeah, I think that's what it says. So, and you could easily actually take off this tag. You can actually remove it. But I decided, what, why not keep it? Because, it's kind of special. And a lot of my friends who were friends with me in my old school, they decided to keep the tag on theirs as well. So, I thought it was really, really cool. And also, you can actually open this lion's mouth. Actually, you can open it. Now, how you do it is you basically you kind of go up and down. There's not necessarily like a lever you pull or anything like that. You just have to make it go up and down. See, if you guys, it's kind of hard to see, but you can make him go like that. And you can also make him walk like this. He's like just strolling on the carpet. Just taking a stroll. But yeah, he's very, very cool. I really like him. Even the detail is just amazing with the kind of jewel thing in the middle, and his, these little spikes right here. They're pretty cool. And the detail on his body right here, and there's also a little bell on his tail right here. Well, there's actually little bells on his below his ears, and also on his tail. But it's pretty cool. I really do like him. I think he's really, really cool. And I'm glad I've had him for almost 10 years. It's been 8 years since 8 years ago I got him. So I really, really like him. You know, I think he's very, very cool, very interesting. And if you guys can still buy, in case you guys want any of these, in case you're interested, they still sell them for a pretty good price on really any website. You can get them from websites, you know, any website really. Well, yeah, not any website, but you can find these on some websites. And also if you go to Chinatown, you're nearby Chinatown, you can also pick these up as well. Now I also did go to the Chinese New Year parade 3 years later in 2016. It was yesterday was exactly 5 years ago since I went, and I'll also leave a video link in the comment section in case you guys want to check that out. Because I did film the Chinese New Year parade. It was very awesome. I had super fun time. And yeah, so that's really the Chinese, the Chinese lion. So before I end this video, we're gonna make him do a little dance. So I don't know why I said little twice, but we're gonna make him do a little dance, a little traditional Chinese lion dance. So hope you guys enjoy.